news that I wanted to share with our listeners and really thank them. Because I was told from our chief producer, CP님, she looked at some numbers.
Okay.
Now, we have the regular, like, books, you know, like paper books.
The paper books, yeah.
Right? But we also have a lot of ebooks. I mean, we have ebooks.
Right.
And I found out that a lot of our listeners are buying ebooks.
Really?
Yeah, we're like number 2. Congratulations.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, can you believe it? It's hard for Power English to be number 2 in terms of books because our program, it's all in English. People think it's quite difficult, so they don't approach Power English. But I find that people are subscribing to ebooks.
Wow. Well, thank you, everybody.
Thank you. So I just want to tell everybody, wow, thank you so much, because I will have to say that no matter what good chemistry we have or how funny we can be, it doesn't matter. The books matter, right? The numbers matter.
Exactly, of course.
So,
you know,
yes.
as an education show, the book sales is one way it tells EBS.
That's right.
And everybody, hey, people are listening to the show.
Exactly. It's the only way to figure out what show is popular or not, right? So I just wanted to deeply thank our listeners. And keep it up.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
We do have great listeners. Thank you
we sure do.
so much for that.
All right. So we've got Travel Tuesday today, and this month we are hiking the Appalachian Trail. And finally, the 2 hit the 500-mile mark. Okay. So, 500마일 기록 달성.
Yes.
Okay. They hit the mark.
That means they have walked 500 miles.
Okay.
That's like 700 kilometers.
That's a major.
Between 700 and 800 kilometers.
I can't even drive that much.
That is, I mean...
I can't even drive 500 miles.
It takes a long time.
It sure does. Okay, so this is a big deal. They've been on this journey, and they made this sort of like big kind of, how shall I say, accomplishment.
Yes.
Right? Okay. In terms of something is our power expression. What does this mean?
In terms of blah, 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 means in reference to or talking about, referring to something.
Okay. How about to meet up with someone?
To meet up with someone, you're meeting them, but you're probably going to meet them and maybe talk to them for a little bit.
Okay. And indulge in something?
You're doing something and you're going to enjoy it.
Yeah, and sometimes you're not supposed to do it, but you do it anyway.
But you do it anyway, like eating a lot of chocolate.
Or like a whole gallon of ice cream.
Yeah.
Or like 2 pints or a whole pint. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and listen to our dialogue.
What day is it, Chloe?
It's Tuesday. But in terms of how long we've been hiking, it's day 35.
According to my map, we'll hit the 500-mile mark on the trail today.
If we meet up with some of the other hikers, we can celebrate this milestone.
We can indulge in some of the chocolate bars I bought in the last town we stopped at.
You don't happen to have an extra large pepperoni pizza in your bag, do you?
Okay, here we go. We're on pages 98. It's time for Power Dialogue, hiking the Appalachian Trail, hitting the 500-mile mark. Okay, so Joey says, what day is it, Chloe? And Chloe says, it's Tuesday. But in terms of how long we've been hiking, it's day 35. Okay, so Chloe is saying, okay, it's Tuesday, but in terms of this, it's 35 days.
Yes.
What's going on?
So we use this phrase in terms of when you're giving a certain type of measurement, usually. So Joey says, what day is it? And usually when we say what day is it, we're asking 무슨 요일?
Yeah.
Right? So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And she says Tuesday. But in this case, there is another way you can answer the question.
Oh, okay.
Which might be more important. For Joey, more than the day of the week, it could be the number of days traveled.
Yes.
Right? So that's why she says in terms of how long we've been hiking. So she's changing the unit, changing how she is expressing it. So it's not just Tuesday, it is also day 35 of their journey.
So whatever your answer is, you're giving another perspective.
Yes. So you could say, how long have you been working? I've been working for 5 hours.
5 hours.
Or in terms of coffee drank, 3 cups. Like you're changing the unit, a different way of measuring it.
Got it.
So sometimes you can use it like I did in a hopefully funny way of saying it. But sometimes there is a normal way and then maybe something with a better meaning.
Okay.
Or something that is more meaningful to you, even if it's not the standard way of measuring something.
Okay, we're going to give you more examples, and it'll give you a better idea of how to use this.
Yes.
So they've been hiking for a long time, over a month, right? And what does Joey say?
According to my map, we'll hit the 500-mile mark on the trail today.
Okay, so if you hit the mark, and this happens to be an expression, it means that you reach a certain milestone
Yes.
or certain important event or marker.
Yes.
Right? Okay, so they've traveled 500 miles. That's a big deal. You know, like couples, you know how they have like day 200,
Yeah.
day 1,325?
Yeah. You can say like the 100-day mark.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Yeah. We've
300
reached,
days.
Yeah.
There are some marks that are significant. Okay. Trail, T-R-A-I-L, and this is a word that we commonly see when it comes to hiking.
Yes, we commonly see it in hiking. A trail is a path, but it's usually through a mountain, through the forest,
Yeah.
maybe through a field.
Right.
But the feeling with the trail is there is no asphalt,
No cement.
no cement, no,
Just a small-
just like dirt.
Right. But there's a path.
Yeah, it's clear. You can clearly see where to go, but it's not. There's no like extra man-made
Right.
feature to it.
That's right. We can even have a bike trail, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Chloe says, if we meet up with some of the other hikers, we can celebrate this milestone. And I've mentioned this word milestone just a few minutes ago. And milestone is just simply...
It marks how many miles you've gone.
Okay.
So there used to be in the old days, mile 1, mile 2, mile 3, and it was written on a stone.
Right.
Which is why we called it a milestone.
Got it. But now we use it more broadly to mark some special time, right? In a person's life, too.
Yeah, it can be used for time, distance, any type of accomplishment like that.
Now, if you meet up with someone, this is a great expression. Oh, I'm going to meet up with my friend later this afternoon.
Yes. So to meet up with means that you are going to meet them and you're probably going to be with them for a little while.
Right.
Right. Meet doesn't necessarily have the meaning by itself. To meet someone can be a very short amount of time, but to meet up with feels a little bit longer, often with people that you already know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Often that you've met before.
Right.
So there's the feeling that an extra action is going to go on with that meeting. And in this case, it is potentially to celebrate the milestone.
Okay. So to meet up with, really, it can be a friend. It can be a business partner, coworker, right?
Yeah.
And you're meeting and you're spending some time with them.
Yeah.
Okay. Joey says what?
We can indulge in some of the chocolate bars I bought in the last town we stopped at.
Okay. So if you indulge in chocolate bars or indulge in ice cream, yeah, what you're having it,
Right.
But what is that feeling?
Right. To indulge in means that you're having it, you're enjoying it, and it's probably something that's technically not good.
Maybe too much sugar.
Too much sugar.
Too many calories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe you're doing it too soon.
Oh, yes.
So it doesn't necessarily have to be food. You could indulge in a coffee break that's too long. Like
Yeah.
a break. You need to be working, you need to be studying, but instead of a 5-minute break, you take a
15-minute break.
30-minute break.
You're indulging.
You're indulging a little too much.
Okay. All right. We'll give you examples in just a bit. Chloe says, you don't happen to have an extra large pepperoni pizza in your bag, do you? Now here, you have to understand the humor. Okay? So he's like, oh, maybe we can have some chocolate bars. But Chloe wants something else. She wants a pepperoni pizza.
Yes.
But she asks, you don't happen to, do you? That's our power pattern.
Yes. So you don't happen to, do you? You're going to ask them if they have something, if they've done something, and it's not likely. You don't think that they're going to have it, but just in case you want to ask.
Okay.
However, Chloe here is saying it as a joke. She knows he doesn't have a pepperoni pizza in his bag.
Yeah.
But she's like, if you had one, I would love to eat it now.
Right. So she's kind of making a joke about it.
Yeah.
Like she really wants it. Of course there's no pepperoni pizza,
right.
But she's just like, oh, you don't happen to have one. I really want one.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's listen to that dialogue one more time.
What day is it, Chloe?
It's Tuesday. But in terms of how long we've been hiking, it's day 35.
According to my map, we'll hit the 500-mile mark on the trail today.
If we meet up with some of the other hikers, we can celebrate this milestone.
We can indulge in some of the chocolate bars I bought in the last town we stopped at.
You don't happen to have an extra large pepperoni pizza in your bag, do you?
It's time for Power Note. We're on pages 100 and 101. So we talked about this expression in terms of something. So regarding something, in reference to something. But more importantly, we need to see how it's used. Okay. How is your business doing?
In terms of profits, it's doing great.
Okay. So here we're not comparing. We're just saying, well, in regarding this area, we're doing good.
Yeah, you're giving the one measurement.
Okay.
So you could say in terms of employee turnover, it's awful.
It's awful.
Employee turnover meaning how often someone leaves versus come in. So you're basically saying there are a lot of people that are quitting or being fired.
Right.
But if they're making profits, if you look at it from the profit angle, it looks good.
Okay. In terms of weather, nothing is better than Hawaii.
But you're only talking about the weather there. In terms of food prices, it is very expensive.
Yeah, right. Food prices or accommodation is very expensive. But in terms of weather, nothing is better. So there is that assumption that, well, there is this, but in terms of this, it's great or it's terrible. Yeah. There is that kind of comparison, contrast.
Yes.
Yeah. Not always contrast, sometimes.
Yeah, it's not always contrast. Like in our dialogue, it's just giving maybe something that works better. So you're giving maybe a basic way, and they're saying, oh, actually, this is a better way to explain it. So you'll change it and say in terms of...
Okay, I have another example. Colleges, okay, and you've got so many choices, right? And so when you're deciding which college to go to, you may think, well, they've got a great art department, but in terms of like tuition, it's really like way too much, right? It's like one thing is good, but then in terms of that, it's a little too much.
Yeah, you're changing the way you're looking at it.
Yeah, okay. All right, meet up with someone means to meet someone. Are you going to see anyone while you're in your hometown?
Yeah, I'm going to meet up with a few of my high school friends.
Okay, so meet up is, I'm going to meet some of my high school friends. If you say the word just meet, is there a difference between meet up with and meet?
So I actually think in that case, meet sounds a little awkward, and meet up with sounds more natural.
Yeah.
Because meet up with, like we talked about, feels like you're meeting and then doing something, even if it's just hanging out, being together and, having fun.
Right.
But when you say meet someone, it sometimes does feel like you're meeting for the first time.
Right. Or that you are meeting someone maybe in a sort of formal situation, like Oh, I'm meeting the CEO this afternoon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or, oh, I'll go to the airport and meet you.
Right.
I'll meet you at the airport.
Right.
Right.
So there is that feeling of meeting up with someone is like you're going to hang out with them.
Yeah.
Yeah. In a more casual way. Okay. Let's meet up with my sister and her kids on Saturday.
Yes. This again, you're maybe going to the park or maybe going to your sister's house and you're going to see her and her children and do something probably.
Right. So when you have a friend and you're like, oh, I haven't seen you in so long, let's get together. This is a common way.
Yeah.
And then the other friend says, how about we meet up at the end of, this month? I'm free.
Yes.
It's a very common way of saying, let's get together.
Yes. You can also use this when you're a group that is going to separate and get back together.
Very right.
So, let's say a family is going to the supermarket on the weekend. Okay, I'm going to get the meat, you get the vegetables, and we'll meet up in the bread aisle.
That's right.
So you're going to separate, and then you're going to come back together.
Right. How about typical amusement park? We all want to ride different rides. All right?
Yes.
Let's meet up in 2 hours.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. All right. Indulge in something means to do something because it really makes you very happy. It pleases you. Do you smoke?
I indulge in a Cuban cigar once in a while.
Okay.
I do not.
You do not?
I do not indulge.
Yeah. Ooh,
But this is a good example of a cigar is in no way healthy for you.
Yeah.
But it is something that some people do enjoy.
Yeah.
So indulge is a good word to use here.
Right. And you feel like you don't do it every day, but you do it occasionally.
Yeah, if you if you do it every day, you can no longer say it's
indulging.
It's no longer indulging.
We indulged in caviar and champagne in the airport's executive lounge. Right. So you like those indulgences.
Yes. Is there anything in particular you indulge in?
That I indulge in?
Yeah.
Well, I try to be gluten-free during the week, but that never happens. So I do I say, I'm not going to eat dessert. I used to have dessert almost every day.
Oh, yeah, I still do.
Every day.
Yeah.
So these days I indulge in, a tiramisu or carrot cake. Yeah. Okay. Our power pattern is you don't happen to, do you? Yeah.
I mean, this is unlikely, but I want to ask anyway.
Okay. You don't happen to have a pair of tweezers, do you?
No, I don't keep a pair of tweezers. It's kind of an awkward question, right? You don't happen to know a guy named Mark Clark, do you?
Okay.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, you don't happen to have a nail clipper, do you?
You know. Why would I?
Right.
You don't happen to have an extra toothbrush in your purse, do you?
No, not for you.
It's kind of like you're asking these awkward, but just in case you want to ask.
All right, our power vocab is trail on page 102. Do check out the definition there. And make sure you join us for our evening special at 6 p.m.
Yes, we'll see you there.
Okay, see you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.